tonight at the Pensacola Interstate Fairgrounds. It starts at 7:30, so on all you rednecks, make sure and get there, get your tickets early so you can be a part of the biggest thing the PWA has ever offered to the most ignorant humans on planet Earth, and that's right here in Pensacola. It's tonight. Let me re-emphasize, tonight for you morons, 7:30, Pensacola Interstate Fairgrounds. Now to the business at hand. You know, for 9 years I was with WCW and I busted my butt. I did everything I could do to make the people like me. I tried to be the best of my ability so that I could be good for you people. Well, after about 5 years, I start going to the rings and it's, Armstrong, you suck. You suck, Armstrong. So what happened? The people turned on me. I never turned on nobody. The people turned on me. The last 4 years of WCW, that's all I ever heard was, Armstrong, you suck. I didn't change. You changed. Then I come into the PWA. What happens? The first night in, what do? I win the PWA heavyweight title to represent the people. I didn't know I was representing a bunch of morons, and that's exactly what I was representing. It just took me a little while to realize that. So then, after I hold it longer than any other man has ever held that title in the PWA, what happens? Bobby Dahl. That's what happens. Yeah, he's been wrestling about 12 years. The first 5 years, I just heard people say, hey, you know Bobby Dahl? No, I don't know him. Then in the next 5 years, he started making a name for himself. The past 2 years, he's made more than a name for himself. He's at the top of the ladder. And what's he done? He's been nothing but a pain in my ass. And Bobby Dahl, what happened to you about 6 months ago, brother? You got dropped on your skull. Your neck was all messed up. You've been out for about 6 months. And all that time, what happened? Well, you sweet little wife. That's the one thing I can say good about you, Bobby Dahl. The one and only thing. You must have got her really, really drunk to make her say I do to somebody like you, because she's a hottie, brother. And I do enjoy getting my hands on her, just like I know she enjoys me getting my hands on her. Is it that she just is sick of your ass? Probably. She's sick of you nothing happening tub of guts? Probably. Does she want this laying next to her every night? Of course she does, just like everybody out there watching's mother, who's right now looking over at the husband going, my God, why don't you look like him? Of course she ain't saying that to your face. The sisters, they're saying, man, I wish I was his age, because well, you know what they're thinking. And then the grandmothers are saying, I wish I was 40 years younger, because I'd like, well, you know what they're thinking too. They're just not saying it out loud. And hey, Bobby, maybe Terry's not saying it to you, but you know she's thinking it. At least I do, because she calls me all the time saying, Scott, listen, can you meet me over here? Can you meet me over there? Well, hey, Terry, I'm not that kind of guy, baby. I'm an exhibitionist, as you well know. So, Bobby, if that gets in your craw, then good, because I hate your guts. You can call me a hate monger if that's what you want to call me. I don't care. The people have sat and told me I suck. Wrong. You suck. You suck. You got Chad Cheatham. You got Bobby Dahl, and now you're bringing in the man Marty Jannetty, the big-time legend from WWF, tag team champions with Shawn Michaels. Hey, that don't matter to me, man. I've made a career out of kicking guys like your ass, so it don't matter to me. Chad Cheatham, you're a pain in the ass too. But Bobby Dahl, I hate your guts, brother. It ain't nothing for me to jack slap your ass, and I'll do it in a Minnesota minute, and it won't take me twice to think about it. So tonight, at the Pensacola Interstate Fairgrounds, starting at 7:30, I hope you lace them up tight, Bobby Dahl, and I hope your old lady's there too. Matter of fact, I'll leave a ticket for her sitting ringside. She can sit ringside and watch our match, because she loves to watch me in those tights. At least that's what she told me. See you, Bobby.
Main event this week is going to be Bobby Dahl taking on the sensational one, Steve Savage. I just happen to have the sensational one here with me this week to help commentate and give us the information on the participants of this match. Nice to have you with us again this week, Steve.
Well, it's good to be here, Philip. Let me tell you something, man. I've been out and about doing things all over, but now the Independent Wrestling Classics, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be any place but right here. And once again, a great upcoming broadcaster, and my co-host this week is Philip J. Farrell.
Well, thank you very much, Steve, for those words of encouragement. And here you are coming to the ring, slapping high fives with the fans. And I know the fans have always been a part of your career. They've always been a big part of your wrestling strategy.
That's exactly right. You know, without these great fans, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of fans each year, every night, every day, whatever it takes out there participating in these events, man, it makes it all worthwhile. 110% as I try to give it. Right here, I think I was the All-Pro Heavyweight Wrestling Champion right there, the APW. And it took me a long time. I'm not going to sit here and say it was a cakewalk, and it wasn't. Let me tell you something. It took me a long time to get that belt, fighting, climbing to the top. Finally made it. And now, hey, man, it's no piece of cake now. I've got to defend that thing every 30 days, and people's gunning me left and right, far from the far east to Alabama. You know, it don't make no difference where you are or who you are. It's what you got around your waist, and that's what they want. The APW Heavyweight Champion, and I tell you, Jerry.
Well, that's absolutely right. And here you see vintage Steve Savage there, scooting out of the ring, going after his opponent. Bobby Doll likes to waste time on the outside. He likes to use the ropes. He likes to use the outside of the ring to his advantage as far as the time limit goes.
Another thing about Bobby Doll, you know, I've wrestled him. We're no strangers when it comes to professional wrestling. Bobby Doll and myself, believe it or not, we have actually tagged before, and it was an experience for me because I turned rule breaker to fan favorite possibly just about overnight. And man, I'll tell you what, I saw the light. Now the fans are right behind me, and this U.S. Express thing that I guess you mentioned earlier, me and the Lightning Kid, we're going to the top. We're not going to stop. Red, white, and blue. And patriotism shows no boundaries. And I'll tell you what, we're coming to a town shortly near you. I've been sidelined, and all these injuries that came up and kind of sidelined, did some broadcast and announcing some special refereeing. But now I'm back in action, and I'll tell you what, Philip, when me and Jerry Reiner, the Lightning Kid, hit the ring, look out, because tag team personification is on hand.
Well, it's absolutely wonderful to see you back in the ring, Steve. I know a lot of cards and letters came into the studio wanting to see Steve Savage on the card, and we are certainly glad to have you back. And you mentioned the Lightning Kid, Jerry Reiner, or the USA Kid as they call him now, your tag team partner in the US Express. I tell you, there's just all kinds of potential there, and I know y'all are going to make it to the top.
That's exactly right. You know, I could sit here and talk about it all night, you know, but I don't want to take up any of this precious time because we've got a great match right here on hand. Bobby Doll, the challenger, if you will, against myself, Steve Savage right there, and it's for the championship belt. There again, there's Albert Williams, the special referee for the event, the official, and they just pulled this guy out of the closet or something. You know, he didn't anything. He didn't know anything about wrestling, the books or anything, but he wanted to do a championship match, and right there, he's got what he wants.
That's exactly right. He was not a trained wrestling official, and as I recall at this card.
Well, that was to the advantage of Bobby Doll right there. That referee could have cost me the APW heavyweight belt. But as you're going to see later on in this event, well, I don't want to say any more.
Yeah, don't spoil it for the fans out there. Now you see Bobby Doll primping and posing for the crowd and for the camera as well. Circling, collar and elbow tie up. Back to the ropes. Irish whip reversed. You duck the clothesline, ducks the elbow, high crossbody. That was an amazing move. High aerial tactics shown there. And I've got to tell you, Steve, it seems sometimes like you have springs in your legs.
Well, it feels like I have springs in my legs sometimes. Let me tell you something. This weight in this match, you know, I'm no big guy by any means. The most I've weighed is about 240. And right there, I believe I'm at about 225. Bobby Doll, of course, is about 250. And the weight's going out to Bobby. I mean, if he ever gets his hands on you, I try to stay away from my opponents as much as I can and try to wear them out. You know, I'm a rope man, ring rope and high flying or whatever, but when it comes to wrestling, hey, I know exactly what I'm doing inside that ring. Look at there, Bobby Doll picking up a chair, threatening me, and I don't know what he's saying to the referee right there, but it's to his advantage, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Albert Williams getting the chair away at least. I have to give him credit for that. Bobby Doll has a thing for steel chairs. I know the week prior to this match, he tried to use a chair to win. And of course, one of the great fans in the arena actually snatched the chair off the turnbuckle, allowing you to reverse and actually get the pin. And that was actually in your favor. The fans literally had a hand in it. The good sunset flip there. Hooks the arms.
Oh, nice.
Got a good solid 2 count there. Doll barely able to weasel his way out, and it looks like he's headed for the dressing room.
Well, there again, you said something about the wrestling fans. They're ecstatic here. We've got a crowd on hand. It may not be a large crowd. You know, it don't matter to me who's there. I'm at my 110% right there in the ring. I'll tell you what. You said something about the fans, and I'll tell you what about them. As long as they're behind you, man, you feel like you can go on to the top. You can keep on and on. Wait a second. There's Don Fargo. That looks like Don Fargo.
Absolutely. That is the infamous Don Fargo, and he's coming out here on Bobby Doll's behalf, as I seem to recall, to act as his manager. Looks like he's jawing with Albert Williams there. He's got no business being at ringside.
That's exactly right. There's 3 men against me right there. I'm defending the APW belt. He has no rights. He's not a manager or anything like that. Bobby Doll, at times, he enters the ring, looks like $1 million. Not that he has $1 million, but he looks like it. But look at this, man. The infamous one, like you said, the wild man, Don Fargo, has made it to ringside, and I just don't believe it. I can't. I've got to watch all ends.
And it looks now like Doll wants to extend the hand of friendship. Yeah, right, like you'd buy that one. He's even got one hand behind his back. And Fargo over there distracting the official momentarily.
I don't think he was distracting that official. I think he was paid off. You know, I can't accept it, you know.
Wait a minute. Didn't mean to step on your toes there, but a big clothesline. That was nicely executed. And it looks like Doll's going to scoot out of the ring once again.
There again, he's killing time. He's a crafty ring veteran, man. He knows the ropes. He knows the ins and outs of professional wrestling. He's on top of the game, you know, and you've got to be. And this 30-minute match, you know, could turn into a 10-minute. You know, you never know what's going to happen in a titleship match.
You're right. It only takes 3 seconds for a pinfall victory to happen and a title to change hands.
Exactly.
And in between the ropes steps Bobby Doll. And the official says, let's get this match underway. Really got the crowd going with the Barbie Doll chant there. And a big kick to the midsection, forearm smash. It looks like Doll is going to open up now.
Oh, man, he's really taking it to me. I felt it the next morning. Bobby Doll, you know, he's a really crafty ring veteran, like I said earlier, man, and that word just sticks with me. He knows what to do. He's right there on top of it. And there again, look at the ref. He's seen exactly what's going on, man, and he's letting it go on and on. I don't want to win this match by disqualification, and you know me a long time. I want to either win by a pinfall or submission, and that's the only way. Look at.
You see Don Fargo there ramming the head of sensational Steve Savage into the ring post. There's really no call for that in professional wrestling, and I hate to see it. And of course, Albert Williams' back was turned.
Where did Don Fargo come in? I can't believe this is going on. He wasn't here earlier in the dressing room. I didn't even see him in the parking lot, the building, nowhere. This man has just emerged on the scene, and you see pandemonium and bedlam throughout the building. Well, wild man Don Fargo, man, I'll tell you what, Jackie Fargo, I remember the Fargos.
And it looks like Doll ascending to the top turnbuckle. He's going upstairs. Drops the flying fist drop to the forehead. an illegal maneuver, and of course there is no kind of warning by the referee.
I'm not going to lie. That could have cost me the belt right there. He could have hooked that leg and went for a cover. Maybe it was possible win a pin right there, but, you know, there again, he didn't go for that. He's trying to weaken me down right there, man. That nerve hole, I'll tell you what, when you're in that, man, you're in a dream state of mind, man. It's going to put you out in the nerves.
I've talked to a lot of professional wrestlers who have had experience with holds like that, holds mastered by men like Toru Tanaka and Mr. Fuji, former WWF Tag Team Champion, and they say that it almost paralyzes a half of your body.
Sure does, man. It's like a sleeper, and you know, in a sense, but right there, I'm trying to come back, man. The USA chant's beginning. The fans are right behind me. I'm trying to give it all I had. You know, I'm still weak from that big fist to the face. There, oh man, see.
Scooping you up like a small child. There you see the power of Bobby Dahl. He's got that compact build. I mean, he can just hoist you up in the air before you realize it. And there he goes once again to the nerve hole, trying to wear you down. That's the sign of a good, experienced professional wrestler, always going back to the hole.
Hey, I'm not saying he's not an experienced wrestler. Bobby Dahl is a crafty ring veteran. I believe he was at 5-star wrestling with Jeff Jarrett and all them guys. Started with the very best in professional wrestling. And what you got now is Bobby Dahl, former champion. As you see, I am the champion, and I can say proudly, not extra former. That's what Bobby Dahl has to look in the mirror every day and say that he is. And he's trying to win it back tonight. But it's not going to happen. See, right, well, there, he goes for a cover, yeah.
Hooks the leg, grapevines. That's another sign of an experienced professional veteran. Picking you up by the hair again. No warning from Albert Williams and a closed fist. He actually does warn him about the closed fist. I think that's just for show. I think, like you said, I believe he was paid off.
I believe he was too. He saw that, man. I mean, we see it from where we're standing. The fans see it. Irish whip right there in the corner turnbuckle, man. I felt that. Dahl goes in for a splash, but I have just enough energy left from that big nerve claw pinch on the neck there to get back up.
A good presence of mind there. Irish whip into the ropes, and the big sleeper doling out a little of that punishment you received earlier to Dahl.
I seen Ken Lucas, brother, put a lot of men down and a lot of big man. Norville in the Junkyard Dog, the Bullet, Bob Armstrong with that sleeper hole, and I'm going to try to do myself.
That was a good heads-up move by Dahl there to ram you into the turnbuckle to get out of that predicament, because if he had been in that for much longer, I really believe that he would have been out, and that would have been the match, and you would have retained the title standing up.
Well, there again, look at here, man. The referee knows exactly what's going on. I believe he was paid off. Bobby Dahl, I'm trying to get him back in the ring. Managed to get him back. We're both back in the ring, but look out. Look out, he ducks out of the way. I don't know what the deal is going on.
I believe that was some sort of collaboration between Dahl and Williams that completely backfired.
I think so.
Dahl actually clotheslining himself on the second turnbuckle, but there you see a low blow.
I believe so. I got up to my knees. I seen Bobby Dahl still standing. Well, he kind of standing. The referee was on all four. Look, look.
Now this I can't explain. I think that was frustration by Bobby Dahl after he paid the hard-earned cash, and then Williams didn't come through because Dahl had not won the title. He got frustrated. He kicked Williams out of the ring.
Look at this. I mean, Bobby Dahl is upset right away. You can tell. Look.
And he nails himself with the steel chair.
His mistake. My
victory, actually, and a 1-2-3 count by Williams. We're going to wrap it up here this week, ladies and gentlemen.
We're back, wrestling fans, for our tag team main event. One of the greatest tag team tandems on the independent circuit of pro wrestling today. Graduates of the Rock and Roll Express Wrestling School, Too Sweet Danny Rowland and Bobby Dahl, the Black Sheep. And despite their arrogance, despite their egos, one of my personal favorite tag teams.
This man's just team sweet. From Destin Beach, Florida, ladies and gentlemen, the chick magnet, Tyrone. And his partner, the man that put the Universal Heartthrob, Austin Idol, out of professional wrestling. He takes the credits for the Alabama State Heavyweight Champion, the National Wrestling Alliance Heavyweight Champion, Bad Boy from Hollywood, California. This is Bobby Paul. Together, they are one of the toughest tag teams in professional wrestling, Black Sheep. But ladies and gentlemen, direct their opponents from Monday Night Raw.
And the opposition of the Black Sheep, known all over the world of professional wrestling, the legendary Rock and Roll Express, Robert Gibson along with his nephew Jason. And these two teams know each other so very well.
Reporting on the radio, and we're watching all over the circuits of the National Wrestling Alliance.
And there's a surprise Cajun Joe accompanying the Express to ringside.
First of all, ladies and gentlemen, the new sensation rocking the nation, 220 pounds, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Gibson. Nephew of Robert, and ladies and gentlemen, 5 times NWA World Tag Team Champion, direct from Monday Night Raw, Lexie, Nashville, Tennessee, for Robert Gibson. The Rock and Roll Express, managed by the Voodoo Man Cajun Joe.
As you hear the ring introduction there of the Rock and Roll Express, the official for this tag team contest, Sea-Dog Cecil Roden. And as I said before, these two teams know each other so very well. They've gone at it up and down the entire United States of America.
The bell is sounded, the match will begin. Our main event here in Bainbridge tonight.
And it looks like it's going to be Too Sweet Danny Rowland, the self-professed chick magnet, starting things out with young Jason Gibson. They square off. Danny Rowland there sticking his head through the ropes there. A little bit of a mind game. Collar and elbow tie-up, center of the ring. Nice arm drag takedown by Too Sweet. The crowd here in Bainbridge beginning to chant rock and roll. They're behind the Rock and Roll Express, no doubt about it. The combatants circle once again, collar elbow tie-up, center of the ring. High hip lock takeover there from Danny Rowland. And you can see the obvious effects of that one etched all over the face of Jason Gibson. A scoop now and a full body slam by Danny. I gotta tell you, this guy's only been in the sport for about 2 years, wrestling fans, but he wrestles in there like a ring veteran. Experience well beyond his years. They lock up once again. And this time it's Gibson with an arm drag. High hip lock takeover of his own. A full body slam by Jason Gibson. And a hip toss for Bobby Dahl. And in a matter of moments, Gibson matched Roland's moves and did him one better. And the tag is made. Here comes the veteran, Robert Gibson. Standing side headlock applied by the former 5-time NWA Tag Team Champion of the world. Kicking at the hand of Bobby Dahl, who had his arm outstretched for the tag. Here comes Dahl. Gets a boot to the midsection. Back body drop. Gibson still got the side headlock on Roland. Flying head scissor takeover. And at the same time takes over Roland with the headlock. What action here, fans? Robert Gibson hasn't lost a step. Flustered and frustrated on the arena floor, the Black Sheep. And Danny Roland back inside the ring, makes the tag now to the elder statesman of the Black Sheep, Bobby Dahl. And now it's Dahl circling with his mentor, Robert Gibson, side headlock. Gibson shoots him off. A big tackle and down goes Robert. Dahl off the ropes with momentum. High back body drop and a hard right hand for Too Sweet Danny Roland. Gibson caught him napping on the ring apron there. The tag is made to young Jason Gibson. And it's Jason now with a standing side headlock. Dahl shoots him off right into Danny Roland. And once again, Gibson with the headlock. And that's twice Danny Roland's been caught napping. Look out, Danny with a trip. And from behind, Bobby Dahl with a stiff double axe handle shot right to the back of the neck. Robert Gibson with a few words for the official there. Meanwhile, Danny Roland taking over on Jason Gibson on the arena floor. Just beating him like a stepchild. Shoots him back into the ring underneath that bottom rope. Hard right hand to the top of the skull from Bobby Dahl. Front face locks his man. Did you hear that? Danny said that the fans at ringside couldn't even spell rock and roll. The Black Sheep with no love for the fans. Reverse elbow smash right to the jaw. Goes for the cover there, hooks the leg. Raking the eyes of Jason Gibson across that top rope. Makes the tag, in comes Danny Roland. The Black Sheep lock their man in. A slingshot, double snap suplex. Roland goes for the cover, but the fighting heart and spirit and determination of young Jason Gibson gets him out of that pinning predicament. Irish whip into the ropes. Back body drop attempt turned into a sunset flip, but Danny's out of it. Hard clothesline bullies Gibson to the canvas. Lateral press cover hooks the leg, and again only a count of 2. The Black Sheep firmly in control now, cutting off the ring on young Jason Gibson. Wait a second, I've heard about this maneuver. Rolling with the double axe handle. Dahl nails his man, slamming him to the canvas. That one's called herding sheep. Choking away now in the throat, it's Bobby Dahl, who plants his knee firmly between the shoulder blades of Jason Gibson and applies a rear chin lock. Wait a second, signaling to his tag team partner there, Danny Rowland. What's that about? In comes Rowland, unbeknownst to the official. And the Black Sheep illegally switched with no tag. Rowland with an Irish whip now. Jason ducks the clothesline, ducks the elbow. Tilt-a-whirl head scissors by Jason Gibson. Nice defensive move there by the younger member of the Rock and Roll Express. But can he tag in his uncle? There's the tag to Robert Gibson. He comes in a fist of fire here. Double noggin knocker. Shoots Danny in, gives him a reverse elbow. All hell's breaking loose, wrestling fans. Jason Gibson hammering away on Bobby Dahl. Likewise, Robert Gibson in the corner with Danny Rowland. Irish whip and a train wreck. Robert shoots Bobby Dahl in, Irish whip. The Rock and Roll Express double drop kick. That's got to be it, 2 and 3. Thank you for joining us, wrestling fans. Globe Star Championship Wrestling. The winners of the main event are going to be the Rock and Roll Express. I am Philip J. Farrow with Independent Wrestling Classics. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Well, Commish, here we see the #1 contenders for the PWA Tag Titles. New Era, Amazing Crews.
I can't see them yet. Have they gotten up on their step stools yet?
So again, we're going to start with the short jokes, huh?
Short jokes. Listen, we are here. We are joined. It's your pleasure, Chris Irish, to have here at ringside, assisting us in this commentary, Mr. Electricity himself, Jerry Reiner.
That's right, and Chris Irish, you can just call me Champ for short if Mr. Electricity's too long for you.
No, I think I can manage Mr. Electricity. In all deference, though, you are the champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, their partners, brought to the PWA by the Commissioner Patrick J. Kelly III.
That's me.
That would be you?
That's me.
Well, I should make a correction there. Obviously, they're not their partners. They're their opponents.
They are their opponents. And these guys, the tag champions of the entire state of Texas. You can't ask for anything better than these two.
I got to tell you, I was extremely impressed with the ring work of these two gentlemen, Joey Corman and, of course, Samir from the great state of Texas, as you already mentioned there, Patrick J. Kelly III.
Not only are they the Texas Tag Team Champions, but they have wrestled in NWA Wildside in Atlanta, Georgia. They've done TV tapings up there. These guys are up-and-comers, and it was really, really a thrill to have them here at the PWA.
It's not raining in here, boys. Come over there. Hey, it's not raining in here, boys. What's with the raincoats here?
What is he making fun of their raincoats?
Well, the three of them look like a trio of Chiquita bananas.
Hey, that's style, Chris Irish. That's something you would know nothing about.
Well, raincoats aside, I will say that these gentlemen carry quite a weighty reputation with them. Of course, Joey Corman, trained by Killer Tim Brooks out of Texas. And Samir in the kickboxing Muay Thai shorts, his partner there. Now, they've also fought against each other quite a bit in the Texas area.
Well, we have to point out here that Mays and Cruz fought against each other quite a bit when they first entered the PWA, and they have turned into a relatively decent tag team. So the same can be said for the Overboys.
And, of course, I battled the Black Sheep quite extensively before I joined the most elite group in professional wrestling today and became the PWA heavyweight champion as a result.
That's right. You saw the light. You saw the light.
I remember that, the good old days, back when you were nice to me and, didn't hit me with that pipe at every chance you got.
Back when I was fake, before I was the real me.
That was back when you just catered to the whims of the fans.
Yeah, look where it got me, nowhere.
All right, we've got Samir in the ring going up against Justin Cruz.
A lot of parallels between these two teams, as we noted before. Similar size, similar body weight. For once, I have to say, Cruz has got the muscular advantage here.
That is a first in the PWA.
I would say he's got a size advantage, but Samir is cut up a lot better than Justin Cruz, I'd have to say. All that Muay Thai experience.
Then I think all those cheeseburgers that Cruz eats probably, goes against him.
Well, we won't get into talking about people's body types, Kamish.
Now, I've just been handed a note here. Okay. It appears that the Overboys were wearing the raincoats for one very specific reason. They heard about the seagull problem we have here in Pensacola, and they wanted to make sure they kept their wrestling attire poop-proof.
Well, let's not ignore the match, but maybe if you didn't feed those seagulls so much Alka-Seltzer, we wouldn't have that problem.
Nice short power bomb there from Justin Cruz, I have to say, and some great agility also shown by Joey Corman there momentarily.
And Corman going to take a powder here, begging off.
He's not begging, he's holding his head.
And apparently Justin Cruz used the hair there as an advantage, pulling the hair of Joey Corman.
I saw him pull the hair. I'm sure the referee missed it, but I clearly saw him pull the hair.
Oh, that's right, I forgot. You're probably going to tell me next that the pair of them have a flowing mane of hair like the Freebirds, right?
I wouldn't compare him with the Freebirds, but, maybe Jeff Jarrett in his long hair days.
Apparently, Samir is requesting the presence of the shorter of the two lawn gnomes, Johnny Mays of New Era.
Well, this is... I don't understand why New Era is wearing the camouflage pants. I mean, are they trying to be sneaky and stealthy? Is that the whole point of it?
I can't see them personally. They're wearing the camouflage.
Well, here we're going to see a nice little display of martial arts footwork here from both gentlemen.
Okay, guys, it's a wrestling match.
Come on, let's get on with this, guys. Johnny Mays showing the extent of his karate knowledge.
Well, he told me he learned that at the wax on, wax off school.
Nice go behind there from Samir. Takes his man down to the mat.
Yeah, that's just good technical wrestling right there. On both parts, I must admit.
You know what I like best about doing these shows week in and week out here, Patrick J. Kelly?
What's that, Mr. Electricity?
I look forward each and every week to commentating my own matches. That is the greatest thing, a technical marvel, to be able to sit here and blow for blow tell you exactly what was going through my mind while I'm kicking the crap out of some poor peon.
The funny thing is people pay like $20 to have that feature added on a DVD. Here you're getting it for free at the PWA.
Hey, you can't beat it. What a deal. Call the match, Chris. What are we paying you for?
Nice split-legged moonsault there. And Mays, well, we're going to see the team of the Overboys here heading to the outside. And, of course, the pro New Era crowd getting behind the great man.
Well, that's obviously because these are Pensacola idiots, ignorant of how great the Overboys truly are.
May's going to take a rest here because, let's be honest, these guys are stalling.
Stalling? No, they're just trying to rally the fans behind them.
They're just breaking the momentum of their opponents, Chris. You wouldn't understand ring psychology. If somebody's got things going their way on you, if they've got a flow, as we like to call it in the business, you get out of the ring, you break the momentum, and you start fresh and poke them in the eye.
There you go. Hey, great technical move there by Samir.
Well, the two of you definitely got a flow going here. I'm not even going to say what's flowing out of your mouths.
What are you implying?
Nothing. And Samir sending him into the ropes.
Nice adjustment in midair there by the 3'9" Johnny Mays.
He's not 3'9", folks. Hey, let's give the devil his due. Good things come in small packages, right?
Well, actually, I offered Johnny Mays a job, paying him. I was going to pay him very, very good. I was going to offer him a job to be my lawn jockey.
Couldn't you shut off your phone? I mean, I know, you're a big-time celeb now, and you got to field calls from everybody, but...
This is Julia Roberts. Hold on. Yeah, Julia. No, I know you broke up with Benjamin. No, I can't go out with you on Friday.
Hip toss in stereo.
No. Look, I know you're upset about your breakup, and yes, I am single, but and I know you're single. I know you're single now.
Come on, PJK, just hang up on her. She's a dog.
Rake of the eyes there by Samir.
Call me
Kick to
later.
the
I'm in the
gut.
middle of the show.
Well, now that you're done fielding, I don't even know if that really was Julia Roberts fans, but Brainbuster, hello. Nonetheless, the commissioner being distracted, didn't have the courtesy to turn off his phone.
Hey, I'm expecting important phone calls here.
Well, looks like we're going to see a double team maneuver here.
He's the commissioner for crying out loud.
Nice double team maneuver coming up. Drop kick right to the mush.
That's one of my favorites.
I like that move. That is clever. I'm expecting a phone call from Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. Apparently she wants some advice about running a promotion. But I don't know what that could be about.
And Corman there, he's real proud of himself, trying to flex the biceps.
You gotta comment on the great teamwork here from the Over boys. They're definitely over in my eye.
They are just tagging in and out, quick tags. You know, this is great tag team work.
Like a well-oiled machine, Chris Irish.
You know, you're like a Over boys Mark.
What a tremendous series of moves there by the Over boys.
Good Lord!
Well, you know, that's going to make it awfully hard to put those earphones back on. Bit of an arrogant cover there from Samir.
Big clothesline by the Texan.
The Muay Thai Texan. That has a ring to it.
That's almost like the Mongolian Stomper.
Gotta love the Mongolian Stomper.
He's coming out of retirement. I know.
You know, I'm sorry, fans. This fascination that the commissioner has with the Mongolian Stomper. You know, maybe one of these days he will show up, and I think he's going to take offense to your name dropping.
Duck of the clothesline and into a power slam. Nice offensive maneuver there from one half of the Overboys, Joey Corman.
Justin Cruz trying to come in and cheat.
Well, no, I don't think he was trying to cheat. He just fell for it. And, you know, Cruz has been around long enough not to fall for that. Snap mare. Submission type maneuver here by Samir.
I think I hear him saying I quit.
Is he tapping out? Watch his foot. His foot he might tap out with his foot.
Come on. Johnny Mays is a quitter, so it wouldn't surprise me.
He comes from a long line of quitters. His whole family were quitters.
His dad didn't quit soon enough.
You know, Mr. Electricity, you used to hang out with New Era. Of course, that was pre-Black Sheep days.
Yeah, I felt sorry for him. I was trying to give him a little bit of guidance, but they don't listen. Me being the ring veteran that I am, 10 years in this great business, these guys can't even lace up my boots.
But nonetheless, Corman really taking it to Mays. And both of them.
That's true.
They've been real successful in managing to keep Mays sequestered. High back body drop.
You know, they've really done a great job of keeping Mays isolated out of his corner.
Was there an echo in here?
What, did you just say something?
Nice double elbow there from the Overboys. Looks like we might have another double team maneuver here. Samir locking in the Boston Crab.
Oh my!
Good night, Irene.
Now that is not a legal drop kick.
You don't think?
But it's effective.
I know it's effective. Boy.
I remember when my grandmother kicked me there one time. That, you know, not fun. And I didn't go back for Easter eggs for quite a while, but that's another story.
We don't want to hear about your Easter eggs. Hard shot to the ribs there from Joey Corman, one half of the Overboys. You know, you can go to overboys.com and check them out. I did.
Oh, mid-air collision.
Mid-air collision by the two young, short tag team partner people.
Tag is made by the Overboys, and here comes Justin Cruz. He's a house of fire. Katie bar the door. It's a Pier 6 brawl.
It's a Donnybrook.
Somewhere Gordon Soley's probably rolling over in his grave.
I think he is. Oh, misses with the moonsault.
That'll blow your knees out right there.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, not this.
Here we go. But just like last week, if you watch the show Thursday, fans, here I come to save the day.
What are you saving? This is the black sheep all jumping new era.
Hey, this is like some stuff you'd see on The Godfather.
Hey, this is great. Yeah, so if we're going to compare The Godfather, I guess that makes C-Note, Luca Brasi, huh?
Well, we're making the new era an offer they can't refuse.
Yeah, what's the offer? Hi, stand here while we beat the mess out of you. Oh, what? Look at this. Oh!
Ow. I had to put my 2 cents in there.
Yeah, apparently you did. And Bobby Dahl and Danny Rowland, tag team champs here.
Well, obviously the winners of this match are the Black Sheep, and we're going to go to our next match here, wrestling fans, momentarily.
Folks. This was a win by disqualification. New Era gets the win.
Wrap it up for us here, Chris.
Well, there's really not much more to say except that you guys, again, Pearl Harbor, New Era, and that's it.
Striking a pose there, Shannon So Fine. And returning the favor, Foxy Lady, much to the delight of the ringside crowd. Collar and elbow tie-up center of the ring. Both ladies jockeying for position, and it's Foxy Lady pushing Shannon back into the corner buckle. Mo making his presence known on the outside, grabbing the ankle of Foxy Lady. The official, Richard Dunn, didn't see the outside interference and is blaming Foxy Lady for keeping Shannon in the corner for too long. Shannon wants a disqualification, but Richard Dunn says no way. The ladies lock up once again, and again it's Foxy Lady, and again Mo grabbing the ankle, Foxy Lady unable to break. And for the second time, Richard Dunn is all over Foxy Lady. That's why it's my opinion, wrestling fans, that the manager should be barred from ringside during the athletic contest. There's a nice arm drag takedown from Foxy Lady. And once again, another arm drag. Down hard to the canvas goes Shannon So Fine. And Mo pulling his charge to the arena floor there for some consultation. Referee Richard Dunn there asking about a pull of the hair. I didn't see that from my vantage point. And it's Richard Dunn putting the count on Shannon So Fine. Oh, a boot to the midsection there by Shannon. Snapmare takeover. Hard to the canvas goes Foxy Lady. A handful of hair there. And another snapmare. Standing on the hair of Foxy Lady there and pulling up on the arms. That's got to be excruciatingly painful. The official there putting the count on Shannon So Fine. Once again, pulling at the hair there. The official's attention diverted by Mo. And now applying a rear chin lock. It's Shannon So Fine in the driver's seat. Getting added leverage now off of that bottom rope with assistance from Mo. And it's obvious to me, wrestling fans, that Shannon's going to do whatever it takes to win. Both of these ladies ranked high in the top 25 of the standings in ladies pro wrestling today. Again, using that bottom rope there for leverage, but the official catches on this time, putting the count on Shannon so fine to break the hold. Standing side headlock applied by Shannon. In the center of the ring. Foxy Lady now looking for an escape. Hard elbows to the midsection there from Foxy Lady. Irish whip to the opposite side. Some offense being shown. Reverse elbow smash. Nicely executed. Dropping the elbow. Lackadaisical cover there. Needed to get more of that body weight over the shoulders. And once again, Shannon so fine rolling out to the arena floor for advice from former World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champion Mo from Men on a Mission. The crowd at ringside here in Bainbridge chanting Foxy, Foxy. They're behind Foxy Lady. Another collar and elbow tie-up. Standing wrist lock applied into a hammerlock now. It's Foxy Lady. And both of these ladies know their scientific holds. Hard to the canvas goes Shannon so fine and out to the floor. Mo there threatening to ball up his fist and nail Foxy Lady. Surely he wouldn't lower himself to hitting a woman. And here comes Shannon inside the squared circle once again. Favoring that arm. They lock up once again, collar and elbow, neutral position. And again, it's Foxy Lady with that standing wrist lock. Locks in the armbar now. Good solid mat wrestling technique being shown by Foxy Lady here. As she winds the wrist lock, reversal there by Shannon. Biting the fingers there. Once again, Shannon so fine, breaking the rules. Nice maneuver there by Foxy Lady into a grapevine on the canvas. Reaching forward, applying the chin lock now. And back to the grapevine. Punishing the legs of Shannon so fine here. Mo once again trying to interfere. Foxy there shouting for Shannon to give it up. No such luck, though. Pulling her opponent away from the ropes there. Good maneuver there. Nice ring generalship being shown by Foxy Lady. Pulling the hair there to escape from that hold. And choking away in the throat now. Shannon so fine. She has no reservations about breaking the rules as she drapes the windpipe of Foxy Lady over that second rope. Now, wait a second. There's no call for that. Mo there choking away from the outside. Illegal interference. Larry Strickland and Bobby Wilson should be looking at this right now, wrestling fans. Mo should be barred from ringside for life. Choking right in the throat now. This is despicable. Good grief. Turn around, ref. I used to have a lot of respect for the former World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champion, Mo. It's all gone now. Good maneuver there. Defensive move by Foxy Lady.
15 minutes have gone in this match.
Dropping the leg there. Goes for the pin. Mo interfering once again there. Tugging on the ankle. I just wish somebody would go down to ringside and knock him out. A scoop and a slam there by Foxy Lady, positioning Shannon so fine in the corner. Setting up for something here. Into the corner. Leaping to the second rope, dropping the elbow. Makes the cover, too. But Mo putting the leg of Shannon so fine on that bottom rope. That's going to cause for the break. A rake of the eyes there. I really thought Foxy Lady had the win. Hard chop across the chest. Once again, Shannon so fine punishing Foxy Lady. Irish whip into the ropes. Lady ducks the clothesline. Cross body block down for the cover. Only a count of 2. Shoots Shannon in once again, a shoulder tackle. Hits the ropes, but a trip from the outside once again. This is ridiculous. Shannon backs Foxy Lady into the corner. Boots to the midsection now. Kicking away at Shannon. Shannon kicking Foxy Lady right in the stomach. Irish whip into the corner buckle. Head of steam. And a big avalanche splash. Another Irish whip to the opposite side. Foxy Lady was out of the way that time, though. And Shannon hit that corner buckle awfully hard. Charging with a full head of steam. Both of these ladies have got to be... Wait a second, Mo's in the ring. And Foxy Lady goes downstairs. That was well deserved. I never thought I'd enjoy seeing a woman kick a man in the family jewels, but I certainly enjoyed that one. Knee to the midsection from Shannon so fine. Irish whip into the ropes. Reversed by Foxy Lady. And that time Mo tripped the wrong person. Schoolboy from behind and a 3 count. The count from the official there, Richard Dunn, might have been a little fast, but that's okay with me.
All right, wrestling fans, we're all set for our next contest here on Independent Wrestling Classics home video, the WFW West Florida Wrestling. Our next matchup, a singles contest between super heavyweight Tyrone the Terrible along with his manager Cajun Joe. He claims to be the sexiest man alive. And his opponent is going to be the living legend, the master of the sleeper hold through the ages. I'm talking about Ken Lucas. And a great ovation for the living legend, Ken Lucas. Wait a minute, Tyrone. It looked like Tyrone was making reference to the weight of Ken Lucas. Give me a break. That was the pot calling the kettle black. And then some words from Cajun Joe directed at the living legend. And we may not even get a match here, wrestling fans. Tyrone storming back to the dressing room area. Now he's making his way back to the squared circle. The question on everyone's lips is, will Ken Lucas be able to wrap those arms around the neck of Big Tyrone and put him to sleep? And we're about set to find out here, wrestling fans, as these two men get ready to begin this great matchup. Lucas chasing Tyrone around the ring there. And the Big Tyrone the Terrible tripping and falling, making a fool out of himself in front of this great crowd here in Jay, Florida. Tyrone trying to get the crowd behind him. I don't think that's going to work. But they'll get on their feet for Ken Lucas any day of the week. Apparently, Tyrone's not ready to lock up with Lucas yet. Ducking between the top and middle ropes there, causing some separation, and now offering his hand in camaraderie to the living legend, the master of the sleeper hold. There have been a lot of men over the years who've used that sleeper hold. Bullet Bob Armstrong, another legend of the sport. Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Rowdy Roddy Piper. I'll tell you what, Ken Lucas has put them all down. And tonight, it's Tyrone's turn. But the question remains, can he get the sleeper on the Big Tyrone the Terrible? Great maneuver there by Lucas, using Tyrone's own weight and momentum against him there. Tyrone there accusing Lucas of pulling the hair. Oh, come on, hugging the ring post. I'll tell tell you what, I think Tyrone is completely intimidated by one of his boyhood idols, the living legend Ken Lucas. I mean, give me a break. Tyrone's probably half Lucas's age. I mean, I got to give credit where credit's due. Lucas has kept himself in great physical condition, but come on, I mean, he's not exactly in his prime. And Tyrone outweighs the man by about 200 pounds. Side headlock applied now, cranking away. A vice-like headlock applied by Tyrone the Tyrant. Lucas tried to shoot him off there using momentum from the ropes, but Tyrone, with a pull of the hair, managed to keep the hold applied. Cecil Roden, the official, didn't see the infraction of the rules, so he cannot call for the break. Look at the sheer girth of Tyrone, once again pulling the hair. Someone go get the projector. We could watch a feature film on the stomach of Tyrone the Tyrant. And I'm talking about the widescreen version. Front face lock and a big right hand, nailing Tyrone right in the side of the face. Side headlock takeover by the living legend. A pull of the hair there gets Tyrone out of that predicament, and he bars the arm. Cecil Roden, however, saw the pull of the hair and called for the break, exercising some authority now. Cecil's not going to take any guff from anybody. Once again, Tyrone trying to get the crowd involved. Once again, failing miserably. Tying up once again in the neutral position. Standing wrist lock applied. Winding the arm now. Tyrone the Terrible. Definitely has a strength and power advantage, but that experience edge is oh so important, and it's always going to go to the living legend Ken Lucas. Tyrone stretching the legend now with a wrist lock. He's got that vertical base, applying the pressure on that wrist, trying to pull it against the grain. Another reversal by the legend Ken Lucas. Tyrone there having to cut a flip to relieve the pressure. But that gets him right down there on the canvas where Lucas can take advantage with an arm bar. And that's where he needs to keep the bigger man on the canvas. And he knows that very well. Keys the lock now. But another reversal. Some great mat wrestling being shown by both men. And as I say that, Tyrone choking blatantly. I think Cajun Joe momentarily had the officials' attention diverted. Drapes his man over that second rope, and Cajun Joe choking Lucas across that second strand of ring rope. That just fires me up. Outside interference. There's no place for it here in professional wrestling. Oh, and look at Muhammad Ali over here. Rights and lefts and a big headbutt by Tyrone. Oh my God. Don't quit your day job. Hard right hand right to the ear. Once again hammering away, but a headlock and that patented right hand of Ken Lucas rings the bell of Tyrone. Make it two, and that one really caught him flush right on the bridge of the nose. Ken Lucas does not mess around, wrestling fans. He's no spring chicken. He knows the ins and outs of the sport. Tyrone posted himself there in a very awkward position and spills out to the arena floor once again like a beached whale. I apologize. I probably shouldn't have said that. Lucas stands alone in the ring, standing tall. Cajun Joe is calling for a timeout. Hey, Cajun, there's no timeouts in professional wrestling. He claims to be the smartest man in professional wrestling, Cajun Joe. He's managed the likes of the Faces of Fear, the Barbarian from World Championship Wrestling. Also the Head Shrinkers, former World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions. Greco-Roman knuckle-lock now. Test of strength between Ken Lucas and Tyrone. That's a bad move by Lucas. Tyrone, wait a minute. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Nice reversal there by Ken Lucas, the living legend. Oh my. And Ken's had enough. Hard right hands to the face. Rapid succession blows. Lucas is on fire, stomping away at the sternum of Tyrone the Tyrant. Oh, and right to the eyes goes Tyrone the Terrible. A hard right hand applied by Tyrone now. Look at this nonchalant cover. Hammering away Tyrone to the side of the head of the legendary Ken Lucas. Snapmare takeover and a reverse chinlock applied. An excellent hold to ground his opponent now by Tyrone. But it looks like he's getting added leverage from his manager there. You couldn't really see it from this camera angle, wrestling fans. But he was grasping hands with Cajun Joe, and he's doing it once again. Cecil suspects, but has no proof of the infraction of the rules, so he cannot call for the break. Headbutt there. Hard-hitting blows by Tyrone. Using that size and strength advantage well now. Irish whip into the ropes is reversed. There it is, it's the sleeper. This is it, it's all over, wrestling fans. But Cajun Joe enters the ring illegally and finds himself locked in the sleeper hold. And Cecil Roden calling for the bell. Tyrone's going to be disqualified for outside interference here. And Cajun Joe is unconscious. He's out of it. Nowhere for Cajun Joe to go as he was attempting to interfere on his man's behalf. But the legendary Ken Lucas put him out like a light. They're going to have to scrape him off the canvas. The winner of the match is going to be Ken Lucas as he attempts to revive Cajun Joe. Stay tuned, wrestling fans. Up next, tag team action. Don't forget, wrestling fans, there's no time limit, no disqualification, and the winning team will be the first team to have all three members exit the cage with both feet hitting the arena floor. And Sika stepping inside the squared circle. The patriarch of this tag team, the veteran. The Sultan makes his way inside the confines of the steel cage. And finally, the 400-plus pound Matty Smalls. And they're getting it on right off the bat. The fists are flying. Action all over the ring. Head first into the steel cage goes the Sultan. Hammering away is Brian Knobs on Samoan Sika. Matty Smalls has taken the hard right hands from Don DiBiase, and now Brian Knobs, one half of the Nasty Boys. A headbutt from Don DiBiase, that's the wrong route to go against the Samoans. Face first into the steel mesh goes both Matty Smalls and the Sultan. The Sultan once again into the steal. And right off the bat, it's the fan favorites ruling the squared circle. Adams now hammering away fist and fire on Matty Smalls. Hard right hand to the top of the head, and it looks like the Sultan has a laceration. He's wearing the crimson mask already. These kinds of matches, I gotta tell you, they shorten careers. A gut shot by Sika and a forearm to the back on Don DiBiase. Matty Smalls taking over on Brian Knobs. Looks like Chris Adams with a sleeper hold applied on the Sultan. Matty Smalls went to put Knobs face first into the mesh once again, but receives it himself. Hard right hands from Brian Knobs, former WCW and WWF World Tag Team Champion. A knee drop there, nicely executed by Chris Adams on the Sultan. Don DiBiase delivering the boots there. Sika getting involved. This is getting hard to call, fans. Once again to the steal. The Sultan, who is bleeding profusely. And Don DiBiase with the fist tanked is not helping matters any. Hard right hands right to the forehead. An elbow drop on Samoan gangsta Matty Smalls by Brian Knobs. Smalls also bleeding profusely from the forehead. This is a brutal, brutal six-man contest. No scientific catch-can wrestling holds here, fans. This one isn't for the weak of at heart. God, look at the head of the Sultan. There's the super kick from Chris Adams. Laid out the Sultan. One to the chin of Samoan Sika. And it looks like they're setting up the Samoan gangsta Matty Smalls. Right to the chin. The innovator of the super kick, gentleman Chris Adams, lays out all three members of the rule-breaking team. DiBiase now mounting his man in the turnbuckle. Hard right hands right to the side of the head as the crowd counts along, solidly behind Don DiBiase and his tag team partners. The commish with a double axe handle smash, but a big headbutt. A little offense from Big Matty Smalls. He's a big man, you can't keep him down long. And now the team of Sika, the Sultan, and Matty Smalls have turned things around once again. Face first into the steal goes Brian Knobs. Don DiBiase gets taken out of his shoes. Total carnage inside the squared circle within the confines of this steel cage. Double nerve clasp applied on Chris Adams by Sika, the veteran. Don DiBiase's on Dream Street, taking a severe beating at the hands of the Sultan. Brian Knobs has his chest raked, and now the face by the vicious, vicious Matty Smalls, the Samoan gangsta. He has no mercy whatsoever. A full scoop and a slam. Look out, the Sultan setting his man up. Good grief, stuffed pile driver, compressing the vertebrae. Just rattling the spine of Don DiBiase. Sika just digging his fingernails right into the facial features of gentleman Chris Adams. This has got to be one of the greatest main events I've ever encountered. UWF Wrestling is hot. It's hotter than ever. Headbutt by Sika on Brian Knobbs of the Nasty Boys. So much action in this matchup. A throat shot by the Sultan, former World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion. A boot to the throat of gentleman Chris Adams. From Big Matty Smalls, the 400-plus pound Samoan gangsta. Hard foot right to the chest from Sika, former World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champion, too many times to name. Good grief, what a stiff kick from Matty Smalls. And it looks like the Sultan is trying to ascend the ropes and get out of the cage. He's stopped short by Don DiBiase. What impact! All the way to the canvas goes the Sultan from that top rope. Brian Knobbs mounting a comeback once again on Wild Samoan Sika. I told you this one wasn't going to be pretty, wrestling fans. A laceration on the arm there, the tricep of Brian Knobbs. A career could be ended right here tonight. You never can tell with these cage matches. They're so deadly, so dangerous. Reverse neck breaker applied by the Sultan on Don DiBiase, who appears to be out like a light. Chris Adams still flat on his back. Nasty boy Brian Knobbs trying to shake off the cobwebs. Samoan Sika hammering away. Matty Smalls signaling that the end is near. The rule breakers just pummeling their opposition. And things do not look good right now. This situation doesn't bode well for the team of Don DiBiase, gentlemen Chris Adams and Brian Knobbs. Viciously choking his man in the corner. What a splash! 400-plus pounds down across the sternum of Chris Adams. But Don DiBiase has things well in hand, so to speak. The Sultan there straddling that middle rope. That'll take its toll. Remember, no disqualification, no time limit. This match will not end until all three members of one team have made it to the arena floor. No pinfall, no submission, no surrender. Escape is the only way out. Hard to the mesh. That hard steel. Don DiBiase. A clubbing forearm by Matty Smalls on gentleman Chris Adams. Once again, Brian Knobbs trying to mount a comeback. Hard elbow smash to the top of the cranium of Sika. Hard right hands for the Sultan. Brian Knobbs has gotten a second win now. Look at Chris Adams firing back on the big man. Don DiBiase hammering away at the facial features of Sika. The fan favorites are back in this match. I haven't been this excited about a main event in a long time. Triple Irish whip like a train wreck in the center of the ring. Brian Knobbs now with Matty Smalls puts him face first into the turnbuckle. Don DiBiase pairs off with the Sultan. Chris Adams hammering away on Wild Samoan Sika. Wait a second, there's Rod Price. What's he doing down here? He has no affiliation that I know of with any of these men. The steel chair introduced into the ring the Sultan. You could call him the Sultan of Swing, as he takes out all three members of the opposition with that steel chair, that foreign object that was provided by Rod Price. Apparently Rod had a price. Sika with Don DiBiase there. Look out, a miscue. The Sultan lays out his tag team partner. Adams snatches the chair. Good grief. What a chair shot to the head of the Sultan. Take your medicine, Matty Smalls. But he doesn't go down. Boom, the double chair line, and that puts the big 400-pounder on the canvas. And now it's Brian Knobs dishing out the punishment with that steel chair, no disqualification. And this could be the opportunity for the team of Brian Knobs, Chris Adams, and Don DiBiase to get out. Rod Price was blocking the door, but Bishop Steele out to lend a hand. But it looks like the fan favorites are having trouble getting that door open. They may have to exit the cage by climbing over. That cage door would be the quickest exit if they could get it open. Brian Knobs apparently is telling his partners to go ahead and climb over. Look out, the door is open. Adams and DiBiase are out of here. But Brian Knobs is still over there trying to climb over the top. And now he's got three men to deal with. Remember, the match is not over until all three members of one team are on the floor. Brian Knobs making a break for the door. They've got his ankle. It's a tug of war here. Kicking away Knobs. He made it. He made it. The winners of the match are going to be Brian Knobs, Don DiBiase, and gentleman Chris Adams. Now punishing Rod Price for his interference. He's thrown into the cage. There's your winners, wrestling fans. I'm losing my voice. What action here in UWF Wrestling?